Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Living in Margaritaville with Marla. I'm so glad to see you. So I am Marla, and I moved to Margaritaville this year, 2025, closed on our house on June 30th. But I started this channel about a year ago to answer questions that I had that I wasn't sure about Margaritaville, and I thought other people would want to know. And it's turned out to be, people do have questions. So here goes. Today, I thought we would discuss all of the different personalities that I have seen so far in the 4 months I've lived here in Margaritaville. I have about 5 different categories, and I have to tell you that they're pretty broad categories because, first, just to start out with, there are about right now 2,800 homes built out, and there's going to be 3,700 in this Margaritaville. And I am in Margaritaville Watersound, which is in Panama City Beach. So out of 2,800 homes, there are residents represented from all 50 states. So you can't kind of categorize a particular personality specifically when people have such varying backgrounds. Our country is huge and people from every single state. Right down the street from me, I have a neighbor from Australia. I have a neighbor who is from Spain. I have a couple of neighbors who were born in Cuba, one in Puerto Rico. I have a neighbor from Germany, Anya. So, there's all different states and many countries represented. So keep that in mind. If you think you're moving to a homogeneous community, did I say that right? I think that in certain ways we might be, but when it comes to backgrounds, boy, we're from varied backgrounds for sure. Alrighty, so here we go with different personality categories, not types, but categories. See if you fit in, if you think that would work for you, and then I would keep on pursuing a goal of moving to Margaritaville, at least Margaritaville Watersound. All right, here's some things. As a group, we are fun-loving and social. This is definitely a join-in community. So you will find residents dancing at town square concerts, organizing sunset happy hours, organizing a garage party. Those happen all the time. We have local neighborhood bands that play all around the neighborhood. Different people host them in their garages. So you might be like Dawn and I driving around one evening, coming home from the square and see a bunch of golf carts lined up along the street. You start hearing the music. It was 10 o'clock at night, maybe 10:15, and I think they'd been going since 7 o'clock. They were probably starting to wind down. Then we pulled that golf cart over and we got out and we just started dancing. So we didn't know who the host was. We didn't know who the singers were. We didn't know anybody who was dancing. We just joined right in, and nobody said anything about it. They were all very welcoming. That is how fun-loving and social this community is. You will find there's lots of reasons for golf cart parades, and I have definitely been remiss in decorating the golf cart. Okay, so I haven't decorated it one iota. There isn't an extra light on it. There's not a sparkly anything on it. And I guess I really need to call on my creative skills and decorate up the golf cart. So I'm taking pictures of other golf carts and friends who live in other communities around the country who have golf carts that they decorate up. And then especially my friends not in this community, like I saw a great one this morning where they were all dressed up as the people from Gilligan's Island. And I'm gonna steal that idea. So you will find people who will have a party for no reason at all, other than, hey, come on by, let's get to know you if you're a new neighbor. You'll see a golf cart parade for no other reason than, hey, it's Tuesday, let's have a golf cart parade. And people move to Margaritaville to live generally, not everyone, but kind of to live a life out loud if they want to. They are not retiring quietly. In fact, let's talk about, is everybody here retired? No. In fact, when I was first touring Margaritaville, my tour guide said, and I don't know where she got these figures, I need to ask her. She said about 40% of the people who lived in Margaritaville still worked. Some full-time, some part-time. That astonished me. I didn't know that people who moved here were still working, but they certainly are. A lot of them work remotely. Some of them work locally, and they do all kinds of things. So I know people who are federal investigators. I know some people who work in local school cafeterias. I know someone here who is a greeter at Walmart, who's like one of the happiest people I've ever seen there. And I have neighbors who are nurses. I have a neighbor who is a nurse. I have a partner who is in commercial construction. Y'all, it goes on and on. Oh, I started a YouTube channel, so there's that. And so it goes on and on. There's all different kinds of personalities here for people who work, but also they might work full-time, part-time, and they might be retired. Now, yours truly has some good news. Y'all might know, I don't know if I've talked about it, that I have been a real estate agent in Memphis, Tennessee for about 18 years. I was 52 or 53. 52 years old when I got my Tennessee real estate license. And now I have a Florida real estate license. So all this summer I was studying for the Florida exam. A few weeks ago, I drove over to Pensacola to a testing center. I took the test and I passed. Whew. So now I have affiliated with a terrific brokerage and I have a wonderful team leader that I'm working under named John Arroyo. And we'll talk about that in a different video. But anyway, I'm excited about that. So people are learning new things here all the time. And that brings me to my next category. People in Margaritaville are laid back, but they're not lazy. So Margaritaville folks are the get things done, but don't forget to breathe type. They are, like I said, often former professionals, entrepreneurs, executives, business owners, all kinds of folks. And they have worked hard their whole lives, and now they're ready to reap some of the benefits of their labor. Let's talk about fitness for a minute. And I'm going to put that into this category because I thought maybe I would really need to up the fitness game when I moved here, because you hear about how many pickleball courts there are. And let me tell you, there's probably about 3 categories of fitness that I see here. So I'm just going to go into them real quickly. I think about a third of the people that I have met, and I might change my mind on this once I've lived here for a while longer. I think about a third of the people that I have met are extremely fit, and they are competitive exercisers and competitive pickleball players, and they are very serious about their fitness goals, and they have very nice professional equipment. So they are very serious. Then there's about a third of us here that my observation is they do some kind of exercise fairly consistently, like me. I'm a walker and I like to walk with weights and I try to do it every day. But if I miss a day or 2 or 3, I don't agonize over it. If I am on vacation for a week and I don't work out with weights or whatever, I don't even think twice about it. But I still do it and I feel better when I do it. And I just chose walking probably because my mom is a walker. Then there's about a third of the residents here who really don't care about exercise or going to the exercise classes, which by the way are extremely challenging. I'm just going to say they don't go over to the Fins Up Fitness Center and work out with the weights and the bikes and the Stairmasters and all of that. They just have no interest in that. And they're probably the happiest and will probably live the longest of all of us. But anyway, So don't think that there's some kind of fitness personality here, because there's not. All right, the next fitness category I would say is we are, as a community, young at heart. Truly, I believe that. Chronologically, we may be 55 and up, or Margaritaville advertises it as 55 and better. But mentally, I would say mentally, we have more of a late 30s, in our late 30s perspective. I would say that people don't think just because they are in the last, let's say their third act, or the last part of their life, that they are old and useless. I mean, people here travel, they just have a fun, positive, more youthful outlook on life, has been my observation. And I think I heard somebody describe it as a second wind energy. I really love that description. I think it's true. You know, when you get a second wind at something, and that is kind of the energy that I see here. And it's really fun. So, you know, if that helps you make a decision about personalities, there you go. Another category of personalities that I could say is that the folks here are very warm and welcoming and inclusive. Everybody is welcome. And just about everybody I have met is extremely friendly. So visitors notice right away how friendly everyone is. When Dawn and I visited, we visited 2 times a little over a year ago, and we stayed about 5 hours each time, touring the neighborhood, spending time at the bar and chill, looking through the models, and then deciding what we would want as upgrades to a house. We spent a lot of time here those first 2 days. And the first thing we noticed was how friendly everyone was. Like when we went over to the bar and chill 2 different days to have lunch, if you're a visitor, they have a little lanyard with a visitor card on it. I should have I'll maybe put a picture of one up. And so people who are homeowners here see those lanyards and they know that you're just visiting. So they come up and they'll introduce themselves and say, hey, I'm John, I'm from Boise, and this is Mary, she's from New Orleans, and we love it here. And do you have any questions? I mean, it's just a very friendly and welcoming community. The last category I would like to say is folks here are optimistic, I feel, and grateful. And that is an interesting characteristic, gratitude, because it is November now. And so it is a month that we think about what we're grateful for. And I find that people here are very grateful for their circumstances. They're grateful each morning to wake up. They are grateful they have the ability to volunteer. We have so many volunteers in our neighborhood and so many people who help others. They're very optimistic about not only our future, but the future for our children and our grandchildren. And they feel that there is so much in this country to be grateful for, and they're very grateful for where they live, and they're very grateful for this country. So I have to say it's a patriotic group. It's a very grateful group, optimistic. They're thankful, and it shows in how they live and treat others. So I hope that helps you decide. And thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe. I'd love to answer any questions that you have about Margaritaville. And thank you so much for joining me. Like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful November, and we'll see you next time.